For centuries, it was thought that there were only two surviving tribes of Israel, Judah and Manasseh. In 1980, DNA testing seemed to prove that these two tribes, along with Levi, made up the majority of modern Ashkenazi and Sephardic Jews. The other 9 tribes were considered lost forever. But then in 2021, scientists found some broken bones in an Egyptian tomb that turned out to be the remains of the 12th tribe of Israel, Manasseh. Join me today as we explore the journey of the lost tribe of Manasseh back home after 2,700 years. Welcome to this channel. Before we begin, I want to give a huge shout out to my supporters for their continued support. And welcome to all new viewers who've joined us. Okay, let's jump right into it. It all started in 1980 when a researcher from Hebrew University in Jerusalem, Professor Doron Behar, began exploring whether the biblical accounts about the origins of the Jewish people were true. He used a technique called DNA haplotype analysis on mitochondrial DNA passed down maternally through generations. He studied 415 Jewish men from all around the world, including the United States, Europe, Asia, and Africa. Through his research, he discovered that all of the Jewish men can trace their maternal lineages back to a common ancestor they named mitochondrial Eve or Mad Eve. And guess what he found? He concluded that the ancestral home of Jewish people was not Khazaria, Central Asia, but ancient Israel. His findings showed that the vast majority of Jewish people descend from just 4 women who lived in the Middle East around 2,700 years ago. 3 of the 4 women are believed to have been from the tribes of Levi and Judah. The 4th woman may have been from the tribe of Manasseh. Now, if you don't remember, there are 12 tribes of Israel. Manasseh was one of the 12 tribes. So why does this matter? Because at that time, it was widely accepted that Manasseh had disappeared forever. So where did these guys come from? This was an amazing discovery. Fast forward to 2021. We now know that the last king of Assyria deported the northern kingdom of Israel in 722 BCE, taking the 10 lost tribes captive to Assyria. Yet Professor Behar's work ignited a fire in many people to continue searching for the missing pieces of the puzzle. Enter Simcha Jakubowski. He was the producer of the documentary The Lost Tomb of Jesus and The Evidence Locker Room. Both aired on the Discovery Channel. In 2019, he began to produce the first ever feature-length documentary film about the search for the lost tribes of Israel, which has yet to air. He traveled the world over interviewing thousands of people who believe they might be descendants of the lost tribes. During his travels, he also consulted with leading historians and geneticists who offered explanations based on the latest discoveries. He visited India, China, Ethiopia, and even Alaska, where some claim a group of Israelites settled after being shipwrecked. Throughout his journey, Jakubowski uncovered several mysterious stories that have never before been told. One story comes from Bokhara, Uzbekistan, where a small community of people known as the Bukharian Jews speak a unique language that has no connection to Hebrew. They have ancient artifacts from what appears to be a forgotten civilization. Some of these artifacts include scrolls written in a language similar to ancient Hebrew. Could this be evidence that the 10 lost tribes settled here after being exiled by the Assyrians? It's certainly intriguing. Another fascinating lead came from a small village in northern India where an ancient synagogue dating back 2,000 years was discovered. This discovery was kept secret for 60 years by the villagers who were afraid that the Indian government would try to take the building away from them. This synagogue was built 2,000 years ago and contains artifacts such as menorahs and ritual baths. These artifacts offer a glimpse into the lives of the Jewish people who lived in India 2 millennia ago. These are just 2 examples of the many places that Simcha Jakubowski explored in search of the lost tribes of Israel. Each location provides another piece of the puzzle and brings us closer to understanding what really happened to these mysterious tribes. Then in 2021, archaeologists in Egypt made an incredible discovery that sheds new light on the history of the Israelites. They found 10 men, women, and children buried in a tomb near the city of Tel Aviv. The mummies were later revealed to be from the 12th tribe of Israel, Manasseh. Here's how they deciphered this. This burial was from around 3,000 years ago and goes against the Egyptian tradition of burying the dead. Typically, Egyptians practiced cremation. These bodies were instead buried in linen wrappings and placed inside stone coffins. Also, further analysis revealed that some of the mummies bore scars from the same genetic mutation as present-day Yemenite Jews, making it more likely that they were indeed Israelites. This is significant because according to the Bible, Manasseh was one of the 12 tribes of Israel, but it was long thought that they had disappeared. It's possible that these mummies represent the first physical evidence of the lost tribe. After the discovery of the mummies, Joseph Garfinkel, the director of the excavation, said, "This discovery provides the first physical link between the Israelites and Egypt from the time of the Exodus. It is impossible to ignore the fact that this tomb was found in the exact place where the Bible says the Israelites settled, right here in the heart of Egypt." This is a remarkable find, and it could help us learn more about the history of the Israelites and their relationship with Egypt. But the mystery doesn't end there. Who were the Israelites and where did they come from? According to the Bible, the Israelites are the descendants of Jacob, who was later renamed Israel. They are believed to have migrated to Egypt in the 13th century BC, fleeing a famine in their homeland. However, they were enslaved by the Egyptians and eventually led by Moses in a mass exodus out of Egypt, wandering the desert for 40 years until they reached the promised land of Canaan, where they settled and became a nation. The archaeological evidence of the Israelites in Egypt is still being uncovered. But this latest discovery of the mummies in the tomb provides a tangible link between the Israelites and Egypt. It is possible that these mummies are the physical representation of the Israelites mentioned in the Bible, and that they offer a window into their culture and way of life during the time of the Exodus. But wait, there's more. While these mummies were buried in Egypt, a temple dedicated to Yahweh, the God of Israel, was found across the Red Sea in Sudan. How did the Israelites get from Egypt to Sudan? Nobody knows. But this leads us to believe that there is a good chance that they did travel through Sudan on their way to the land of Canaan. Remember, the Exodus occurred around 1300 BC, and the kingdom of Cush in Sudan flourished from around 1000 BC to 350 AD. The kingdom of Cush was located south of Egypt and was ruled by the Cushite kings who were believed to be descended from the biblical Cush, son of Ham and grandson of Noah. The Cushite Empire was known for its wealth and power, and it is believed that the Kushi Empire took over Egypt after the collapse of the New Kingdom in the 11th century BC. In 2017, an inscription was found on a sandstone stele near the Temple of Amada in Sudan's northern Jebel Barkal region. The inscription is in ancient Egyptian hieroglyphics and mentions the name Yahweh, which is the God of Israel. This is significant because it's the earliest extra-biblical reference to Yahweh ever found. It dates back to the 8th century BC, during the reign of King Shoshenq I of Cush. This discovery suggests that the Israelites had a presence in Sudan and that they worshipped Yahweh there during the period of the Kingdom of Cush. In addition to the archaeological evidence, there are also historical accounts that suggest the Israelites were in Sudan. According to the Book of Kings in the Bible, the Queen of Sheba, who's believed to have ruled over a kingdom in modern-day Yemen, visited King Solomon in Jerusalem. She was impressed by the wealth and power of Israel and is believed to have returned home with large quantities of gold and other treasures. Some scholars believe that the Queen of Sheba actually ruled over the kingdom of Cush and that her visit to Solomon was a diplomatic mission to establish trade relations. Okay, so here's what we know. Around 3,000 years ago, the Israelites were taken captive by the Assyrians and scattered across the Middle East. DNA evidence suggests that the tribe of Manasseh may have settled in Egypt and intermarried with the local population, leaving behind a genetic legacy that can be traced through the mummies found in the tomb near Tel Aviv. At the same time, other Israelite tribes likely journeyed south to Sudan, where they established a presence and worshipped Yahweh in a temple in Amada. This is evident from the archaeological evidence of the inscription mentioning Yahweh and the historical accounts of the Queen of Sheba's visit to Solomon. It's possible that these tribes integrated into the Kushite society, adopting their customs and traditions while still maintaining their identity as Israelites. As researchers continue to analyze the DNA of the mummies, they hope to learn more about the genetic makeup of the Israelites and their relationship to modern-day Jewish communities. Meanwhile, historians are working to piece together the historical records to better understand the role that the Israelites played in the Kingdom of Cush. The journey of the lost tribes of Israel is a captivating one that has intrigued people for centuries. From the discovery of the mummies in the tomb in Egypt to the finding of the inscription in Sudan, we're learning more about the history of the Israelites and their presence in Egypt. As researchers continue to uncover new evidence, we can look forward to a deeper understanding of these mysterious tribes and their lasting legacy. So what do you think about this evidence? Do you believe that the 10 lost tribes of Israel have been found? Let me know your thoughts in the comments below. If you enjoyed this video, please like and subscribe for more videos like this. Thank you for joining me today. Until next time, stay curious and keep exploring.